My name is Frank Gillingham. I live in Henderson County in the city of Huron. We have approximately 200 acres here. I've owned this property for about four and a half years. We came here because both my wife and I love wildlife. We love the outdoors. We love the trees, the meadows, the birds, and we wanted really to develop a piece of property that we owned just for the benefit of wildlife and for the aesthetic value that we could develop for our own personal recreation and use. We see wildlife here every day. I see turkeys every day. We see deer every day. I know we have 3 good-sized coveys of quail, maybe more. When we first came here, we had almost no rabbits, which I don't understand. Now we're starting to see rabbits. There's a multitude of butterflies and all kinds of different birds. It's just really neat. I've got 7 or 8 different whip programs. I have at least 4 or 5 different CRP programs. Almost all of my hardwoods are in a FLIP program, Forest Land Enhancement Program. Out of the 200 acres, there's probably 190 or so that's in one of your programs or another. We have a pond that came under a WHIP program, a wetlands program. It's 1.5 acres. It's stocked with bass. We have an opportunity to fish in the winter. The ducks use the pond. We can flood it from 1.5 acres to 5 acres, which we do for ducks. So we have the enjoyment of seeing the ducks, mostly wood ducks that come in. Without WHIP, we wouldn't be able to afford to put the lake in. The assistance was so terrific that we moved into a forest land enhancement program. Our hardwoods, we take out most of the gums and most of the cedars, to enhance the oaks and the dogwoods and the hickories. And a lot of these trees that we've taken out, we've made brush piles for the quail or the birds, the rabbits and the such. From there, we did some CRP programs. All these meadows that are out around here, about somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 acres. Just this spring, we sprayed them and killed all the grass, all the fescue. And we did a native warm season native grass planting with wildflowers in it. I got wild partridge pea. I got hedges, this whole thing. And in the summer, when the yellow flowers are out, it's really beautiful. We mostly walk the property. We have trails cut. We've planted 6,000 trees here. Most of them are apples and plums. And all this green here, that's all wild plum. In the springtime, there's so many plums on these trees that the limbs are almost breaking, hanging on the ground. The wildlife will come in and clear the plums out in less than a week. It's amazing. They just, all of a sudden there's plums everywhere and then it's gone. We've planted 2 different types of apples, persimmon trees, beautifberries, oak trees, some pines. We have done corridor enhancements, stream enhancements. We pulled out miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of barbed wire. We have done multiple burnings. I'd have to pull out my book, my manual. As I said, there's multiple practices, and I think we've done them all. Before we built our house here, before we did anything, I knew that to develop this property the way I wanted it developed, not only would I need some financial assistance, but I would need a rather substantial amount of assistance from guys that were biologists. You know, your agency, if it wasn't your help and what you've been able to assist me in, flat wouldn't have been able to do this. And some of your guys, all of your guys are really good. I mean, really good. So it's been a great experience, and it continues to be a great experience. If you care about your property, this has enhanced the value of my property, I think, dramatically. It has given us a piece of property that we enjoy being on, hiking on, just sitting out here having a cocktail and watching the wildlife. You know, the things that we enjoy about this property and what it's done for us, we would not be able to do without the WIP, the CRP, the FLIP program. We just wouldn't have been able to do them. Would I recommend them? Absolutely. You know, if you care about your property, if you care about wildlife, if you don't take advantage, not only the programs, but the knowledge that comes from, you know, you're a biologist, you're nuts. Sorry, but that's kind of the way I feel, you know. Yeah, when I came here, I truly did not know anything about farming. I've been out wildlife all my life. I've hunted, I've fished, but as far as planting, as far as maintaining property, as far as you know what you do to benefit the wildlife, the spraying that you need to do, the burning, I didn't have a clue. And guys like Hansborough and all you fellows that just could have done it without you. Thank you.